Like, traffic has died down a bit on this Saturday night, but what a dangerous situation going at nearly 100 miles per hour.
And the other thing about that too, and Dave will rope you in on this as well, the initial point I was going to make is the fact that because those headlights are not on this vehicle, it almost feels like the spotlight overhead, that's doing a lot of the work there to not just alert cars that are nearby with regards to traffic, but, you know, just to try and maintain eyesight on the suspect and maintain the location on this suspect, but as well as any upcoming cars, say, hey, you keep an eye out here because this car might be zooming past you at a moment's notice.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
You're very welcome.
The TFO, the tactical flight officer, doing a heck of a job keeping that light. They got the iris down, and they got it really bright.
Shante, welcome. Pillbilly, welcome. Sasha,
on
welcome.
That vehicle, which
Escape
is
up, welcome.
It's a sign of experience, actually. So, as long as we
going kind of just slicing through vehicles there. We're trying to get a good
look. I'm a little bit behind
you.
Yeah, you're just a couple seconds for viewers.
This
Dave
time
Avila, who is on with us, retired LAPD pilot. You are just a few seconds behind us here, but yeah, this car definitely making its way through some tight spaces, through some of these vehicles and some of this traffic, weaving from the carpool lane all the way to the slow lane. At very dangerous speeds.
And also, Dave, it looks like, and maybe you can fill us in more on what the tactical approach is here on a freeway where we see the CHP vehicles sort of keeping their distance from behind, maintaining, and it looks like, forgive me, as we're kind of keeping an eye on this here because we lost sight. They're getting off of the freeway now as we speak. So, okay, now we've entered sort of a new dynamic of this pursuit, but the danger is still the same, if not heightened, because we've caught ourselves in these situations before, Dave, where we see suspects get off the freeway, and now you're in more residential areas, perhaps people walking out at night, and you maintain these high speeds with traffic lights and everything else. It is incredibly frightening taking a look at this right now.
Yeah, absolutely, Gio. Every time like I've always mentioned before, I mean, as dangerous as it is on a freeway, I'd rather see it there than on the streets, and now we're on the streets. So it's still early enough where people are out and about, you know, pedestrians, we got the stoplights, and traveling at 90-plus miles per hour, I doubt they're going to be able to make a break in time through these red lights. So we've got, it looks like they may have a destination, you know, somewhere where they're going. It doesn't appear that they're lost, you know, turning left, turning right, that sort of thing. And, you know, with the CHP, it's like any law enforcement agency. They always err on the side of caution. So if they wanted to pull back, you know, that might be a technique that they're using right now. Every department's different. So, and that may be an attempt to de-escalate the situation, but if it doesn't work, then they'll jump back on it.
I mean, going 80 miles per hour through the streets of the San Fernando Valley at this point, it just looks like it makes you cringe, really, watching every time you think this driver is coming up to an intersection. Take a look. Are they going to turn here?
It is.
It looks like they're going to turn into traffic here. It looks like at least one patrol vehicle was still following this car with lights and sirens. And obviously that helicopter, that airship is making all the difference to alert other drivers, hey, this person is dangerous. Try to get out of the way. Try to move right. As they're now on the wrong side of the road there, Gio.
Yeah, and
right here.
And this is the part where it gets, once again, incredibly frightening. Really, at this point, as we zoom out now, you can see the CHP officer in pursuit there, at least one. The only time this car's really slowed down is just in those few moments where there is so much traffic, it is impossible to go much faster. But right now, then you see it pick up speed. And Dave, to your point earlier, it does look like this driver is driving with intent. Now, we want to remind folks who perhaps might be joining us in just the last couple of minutes, this is the pursuit of a DUI suspect. So you mentioned that tunnel vision, perhaps they know where they're going, but at any moment's notice, and that's what we're all sort of clenching because you hope to not see a catastrophic situation where they crash into somebody else or crash into anything, really, because you want everybody to end up safe in this situation.
And this driver has really covered some ground as they come up to this intersection here. It looks like they're going to go straight. Okay, they make it through that intersection, but we know that this suspect started somewhere possibly up by the 14 near Canyon Country, made their way all the way down the 5. We're now in the North Hollywood area. making our way through streets at sometimes 90 miles per hour. It looks like they're going to make a left here. Very quick left. But Dave, you know, we've seen one CHP officer behind this person. Do you expect that LAPD would take over this pursuit now? Or will they get more patrol units on here? Or would the safe thing be to, you know, pull back a little bit?
You know what, Leslie, I think you brought up a good point. Now, I think they got the headlights on. That's a good thing. But, you know, even though it was CHP in pursuit, I think they pulled off. But I'm not real sure, but I think they did. The air unit is also broadcasting that over the local division, which is LAPD North Hollywood Division. So they're keeping everybody appraised of where the suspect is, the description, the direction, all that sort of thing, and what they suspect they have here with this suspect. And so even though you do not see the units right on this suspect's vehicle, believe me, they're on the peripheral. They're out and about in the corners because if they want to hold back, I don't know if we still have a black and white behind it or not. I know I did see the one CHP unit pull off.
Right now, we're zoomed into just the suspect, so I haven't been able to get a more wide-out view to confirm that for you, Dave. But overall, and here we go again, kind of caught in an intersection, proceeding forward. This is about the only time you really see this suspect slow down before then rapidly accelerating. Still in the North Hollywood area. Those headlights did come on briefly, so
yeah, and they just turned off again.
And they just turned off again. So, you know, who knows what the mindset is of the driver right now, but you can see that they're still maintaining, at least from that aerial perspective, that spotlight over top, and have not lost sight of this driver at least once. So you see him kind of approaching.
But take a look. They're going into a shopping area. This is a pretty large parking garage here in North Hollywood. And if they end up in there,
he's not going to, is he?
We're not going to be able to see if they then take off. And there they go. They went into that shopping center there in North Hollywood on Oxnard.
I feel I've seen them go in the same exact one. It wasn't even a chase all that long ago. They went to the same place.
At this
you guys
point,
remember that? Same exact place.
You know, make out where this driver is.
This was like in the last month.
But you better believe that law enforcement
knows exactly
where they went and are going to try to get a ground crew.
Yeah, the guy that was picking up his kid. Exactly. Yeah, that one. Yo, thank you for following.
Here, you know, just maintain like a large orbit. You know, try to keep all the four corners covered. But we direct a unit into the north end, the south end, that sort of thing. But we did have a black and white that was in the vicinity, I've been told, and not sure if he's going to go inside. He may be inside, but yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier, guys, and that was that it just looked like this driver knew exactly where they were heading. Yeah, they weren't, like I said, turning left or right or anything like that. But yeah, I'm afraid we may have a little bit of work on our hands here trying to find this suspect.
At least there is, and perhaps
they'll just go in. Yeah,
there is some solace in the fact that now this suspect, you know, we're zooming out right now, so
you should be able to hear me a
just
little
how
better.
large this structure is. It is massive. So the potential, who's to say what the suspect is doing? Maybe dropping off the car, leaving, who knows? But you know, it's just the safety when it comes to, obviously, the traffic is now done. So I imagine they're just establishing a perimeter, trying to, like you said, close all the corners and just kind of
I'm cold eyed. I'm sure they have cameras. I mean, I don't know. You could theoretically get out and go and be gone, but I don't know.
Right.
So long as he's in a library. No, I'm just sitting in a hotel room.
He's going to park that car and just go on foot here. I hate to say that, but I also am glad he's off the streets, or he or she, I'm not sure which one it is off the streets, which means that we're not so worried about pedestrians being hit or a collision or anything like that. So it's kind of.
Where are the cops at now?
Yeah, it truly is.
Hope the units get in there.
Why a hotel room? Because I'm staying in Memphis tonight.
There's some people just standing right outside the entrance of that.
I went to the Grizzlies game today.
Parking garage, probably noticing the news choppers. They're also noticing the LAPD helicopter there in that area. But this is a very busy shopping center there on Laurel Canyon. Take a look. You can see one LAPD patrol car has now made its way there. They have that spotlight, so they're going to try searching now. I'm going to guess first for that vehicle Or they might? Do you think they might have a subset?
Yeah, no John Morant, but it's still a great game, actually.
Is it likely?
You know what? If nothing else, they have the vehicle description. More than likely, they have a plate. So they'll find the vehicle, and then they, you know, anything else, maybe they'll impound the vehicle and try to get prints. But as far as it goes now, there's certain ways that there's as a law enforcement officer, there's certain things you look for at anybody
Thanks for
walking
subscribing,
around.
West Coast.
It's I don't want to get all into it, but
yeah,
it's, you know what I'm talking about. If they look like they're looking over their shoulder, that sort of thing.
Yeah, we see two. So far, we've seen two LAPD cruisers there set themselves up either at entrances or potential avenues of the parking structure. But you're taking another look at it right now. It looks like we're seeing and zooming in on a third one here. But we're seeing sort of the tactics unfolding in front of us here as one goes inside the structure. The other two are positioned sort of at the entryway or exitway of another point of the structure. And really not a lot of people, but they are very clearly aware of what's going on. At least a few of them are, as they're trying to keep an eye on what we're seeing here, but no sign of the suspect so far, and we're not going to be able to see it from this vantage point at all. But
by the time they could
so
check
far,
cameras,
like
right?
Law enforcement has things sort of.
That's what
control.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's some people on the roof.
There are cameras in there, but like before they could ever check a camera, you could just be gone.
What is happening here? But at this point, this is the pursuit of an alleged DUI suspect. We know the vehicle that police were pursuing all the way from Canyon Country down to here, the North Hollywood area. That driver made their way inside this very busy parking garage. LAPD has now surrounded the parking garage. They're going to begin to search for that suspect, and hopefully they'll be able to find that person. But at this point, this may take a while. So for now, we're going to get to other news, but we're going to keep our eye on this situation and keep you updated out of North Hollywood.
And our thanks to Dave for giving us so much of your time this evening.
Sure. Wish I could give you
Thanks,
more,
Dave.
But yeah, no
Thank
problem
you, Dave.
Anytime. You bet. Bye-bye.
We have LAPD North Hollywood and Foothill units that are setting up this perimeter and are going to be
now we're on NBC.
Searching all of these vehicles as they come out. We know that it was the original want was a possible DUI, and we terminated here in this parking structure. We saw triple-digit speeds. We saw them running stoplights. We saw them coming dangerously close to other vehicles.
I don't think we're going to see them get this guy in this case. They usually this doesn't go anywhere.
And now we're here, we're waiting. We're going to see if we can finish this off and if we can bring you an ending to this pursuit. Hopefully.
Usually with these ones where they're in the parking garage, we never hear what happens.
Or people, whoever they are. We don't have a description on the suspect.
Yeah, Charles, good point.
A number of suspects who were in the vehicle. So as you can see, they're blocking off all of these exits. Hey George, can you give me an orbit of this parking structure, please? So we got all kinds of LAPD, Foothill, and North Hollywood units. And right now we hear they're requesting units near the Nordstrom rack side of the parking garage. So we're going to maneuver there. Let's see. I don't know offhand where Nordstrom rack is in this shopping center. So we're going to look around for that.
Shout out to Nordstrom rack.
I'm being told it's by the courtyard. I'll look on our exposure here a little bit.
Yeah, Charles has a point. It's a DUI. Why even bother here?
We got a lot of onlookers here. So yeah, George, see if we can get around the other side of this this parking garage here. George, my pilot, is doing excellent, keeping us right on top of
It's
the
a
action.
nice mall. It looks nice. I don't think I've ever been there. Maybe I'll have to go next time now that this is a recurring location.
Okay.
Is that
several units right here. All right, George, stop right here for me. Right here.
Is there something happening?
Like, I don't know. This is suspect is possibly wearing a colorful beanie. That's what we're hearing on the scanners.
Colorful
right now.
beanie.
Asking for more units at the second floor of that parking garage.
I would hope that he has dumped that beanie by
at,
now.
At this little courtyard. It's weird. People are just walking right through all these police officers that don't seem bothered by that. Looks like this parking structure, 1, 2, 3, is probably about 3 different levels.
Yeah, we could go scout out the parking garage and let me know why next time.
More units to the second floor parking garage.
Sucks for anybody who's trying to get out of there right now. This is the North Hollywood Mall. I think that's what they call it.
Intercept anyone who
I
comes
don't
out
know.
of here.
It's in North Hollywood.
All right, George, let's keep orbiting so we can see something else.
Had Fago Pop, yeah. Yeah, I've had it. Plenty of times. You like that?
Looks like we got some units headed in.
Oh, they're going in.
Okay, sounds like we might be hearing about somebody walking around with no shirt on that might be related. Yeah, George, let's get to the other side of this.
No way.
Other side of this parking structure. We got a lot of officers running through here. Not sure what's going on or where this possible person is walking around. We're gonna try and maneuver ourselves.
No way they found. I mean, if he took his shirt off, that might kind of. I don't know. Why would you be in there with your shirt off?
We saw several officers running into this parking structure.
Yeah, we did get a standoff at the end of it last night. They went in and actually pulled the lady out
Go back to the other side, George.
of the vehicle. They eventually pulled her out of the vehicle and arrested
Great,
her.
thanks, George.
After firing a bunch of tear gas in the car.
Is that air unit overhead helping out in this pursuit and this manhunt?
No shirt, but he kept the beanie. Yeah, he didn't know they saw the beanie. Should have stuck around. Yeah, the very end was actually the most exciting part of the whole thing.
We got a whole lot of onlookers here.
Wanted to find out what her boyfriend did, or husband, or
Keep
whoever.
coming around, George.
Arab Prince, how's it going? What's new? Just hanging out in Memphis right now, so that's new. I'll do an IRL stream around here tomorrow.
So it sounds like they've found the vehicle inside of there, which makes sense. They
Found
knew
the
what vehicle they were looking for. They just have not found the suspects associated with that vehicle yet. Keep coming around for me, George, so I can get a shot in here. So
Yeah, I think he's gone.
at least one officer here.
That guy's heart must be racing, though, however the hell he's trying to get out of here.
Running right into this area right here as they were requesting more units on the second floor. So we're just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen, listening to the scanners, trying to find out as much information as we can. Hey, Bill, what scanner channel are you listening to? I'm not hearing much on CHP anymore.
No, Vic, I'm in Memphis. Shout out Beard and 818.
I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping here, so I'm going to pull a little bit wide. Okay, I'm back with you guys. Just getting my scanners all dialed in here so I can get you guys the latest information. Alright, we're gonna...
When are we doing Dark Side? I don't know. Yeah, it's been more than a minute. It's been a long time now.
Okay.
Someday.
So if you guys are just joining us, George, can you push forward a little bit? If you guys are just joining us, we're sitting here at the tail end of a pursuit that started about an hour ago in LAPD Foothill Division. They tried to pull a vehicle over for a suspected DUI. Vehicle fled, did not stop, ended up on the freeway where CHP took over the pursuit. They wound around a couple of freeways. They went up the 5 to the 210, back to the 5 to the 14, came back south onto the 5, ended up getting off of the 5, and making their way here into North Hollywood, where the suspect ended up driving their red Corolla into this parking structure. They drove through the arm at the entrance of the parking structure, broke that arm on their way into here.
What?
We've heard that they were running on the second floor. We heard that they've been requesting more units onto the second floor. They've found the vehicle, which is good. That shouldn't have been too difficult. They knew what vehicle they were pursuing, so they have found the vehicle. But as far as we can tell, they have not found the suspect.
He had a full freak out. You talking about that guy, the
perimeter,
Texas guy?
Around this parking structure. So the pursuit had gone into
what was his name?
Following mode, which means that the ground units backed off because it was such a dangerous pursuit. So there weren't any ground units immediately behind the suspect.
Oh yeah, right.
Into this parking structure. The air unit was overhead and was tracking them. All right, and we're seeing those two officers.
I remember him.
Go into the parking garage now. They were walking, so perhaps not
Virtual
too
meal, yeah, Lady Stiletto, right. Virtual meal.
You know, that might... I don't know, I can't tell. That is a red vehicle. I can't tell if that's...
That can't be it.
That is a red vehicle. So the pursuit terminated here, and they've been setting up a perimeter and searching for that subject.
What's up, Smog? Oh, Bunny, welcome.
If I'm hearing correctly on the scanners right now, it sounds like there were two suspects. Two male suspects.
Two suspects.
And one of them is wearing a colorful beanie. George, can you push forward for me, please?
Shout out Apollo. More of them going in there. They're not in any hurry, though.
All right, So yeah, I'm now hearing on these scanners, it is 2 male suspects they're looking for.
NoHo West Shopping Mall.
There's another red car. I can't tell what that is.
I think that if we find the red car, I don't know why you would park right by the edge, but
the pursuit. Only turned them on momentarily.
Maybe they ordered an Uber. That would be smart, I guess. Just get out of the... No bingo today. No, Bunny, I'm streaming from my phone today. So I don't have any bingo when I'm doing the phone stream. Tell your kids to go to sleep.
Now is one suspect, one of the male suspects was wearing a blue camo sweater.
Uber is smart. Yeah, I mean, if you can get out.
One was also wearing a colorful beanie.
Colorful beanie and a sweater.
Like checking the mall surveillance footage to get an idea of where they went. If the
Austin, what's
suspects managed to get outside of this parking structure, it's going to be pretty difficult to find them now. If they're still in this parking structure, there's a pretty good chance they're going to get caught. There's a lot of officers here. They're very good at their jobs.
What the hell, Sean?
And if they're still in there, they're going to find them. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take to find them.
The bingo game I did outside, the one in Nashville.
Hey, George, let's do an orbit of this.
2 Hispanic males. Okay.
Of this parking structure.
Yeah, I could do that again sometime. I could probably get better now that I did it once, come up with better ideas.
Into this parking structure.
Maybe I need Jenny to be
We've seen a lot of people standing around out here. LAPD, you can see a very heavy presence here at this entrance, as well as all the other entrances of this parking structure, setting up their perimeter. This was the entrance that they went into. They drove off the street, off Oxnard, right here into this parking structure here.
Yeah, we'll mix it up and put different things on it next time.
You can see the broken arm. You can just barely see that broken arm of the parking gate there on the floor. The suspect ran through that, broke the arm as they entered into this parking structure.
No respect for the arm. Poor arm.
Chopper.
I haven't seen Will around here in a minute, Sean.
Copy that.
Where the heck is Will?
All right, just had to do a little house cleaning, changing our radios here. They've moved to a TAC channel, so we had to adjust. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Hey, George, go back a little bit. Yeah, it looks like they might have a suspect detained here. He's wearing dark clothes.
Yeah, they have somebody cuffed, right? Yeah, they have somebody cuffed right there. Zoom in.
That is one suspect. They're searching him.
Yeah, we'll put Will Zone on the bingo.
May have one suspect detained.
And Will Baskin.
All right, George, can you hold it here for me? All right, so they have some reason to believe that this individual right here is a suspect that they are looking for. I know that they were going to be searching everyone coming out of that parking structure.
Yeah,
so,
that sucks for regular people coming out,
right,
but
George,
yeah.
just slide a little bit back
I guess that's what you'd have to do. You'd have to get out of there before the cops got there.
Parking structure. So this is only a possible. This is not guaranteed. This is
right. That might not even be the
guy.
guy.
They are stopping and they are talking to them. We do not know if this is a suspect or not, but this is just someone that they felt they wanted to talk to. We do not know if this is for sure the suspect. Just someone they wanted to talk to.
They have him in cuffs, though, don't they?
It could be that this individual fit the description that they had given out, and so they wanted to talk to them.
Looks like they're talking to the back of his head.
What we do know is they are searching that person. They are detaining them right now.
Okay. There's supposedly two guys. Yeah. Supposedly two guys. Yeah, the beanie of disguise.
And like I said earlier, the LAPD is checking with the mall security team to look at surveillance footage to see where those suspects went once they entered that garage. There's cameras all over the place nowadays. They're going to go check
Camo
that
beanie? They
footage
said it was
and
colorful.
see exactly where
So
those
maybe.
individuals went.
Yeah, this guy doesn't have a beanie on, I don't think. But they're not zooming in much on it, honestly. There we go, a little bit more. Yeah, this guy has no beanie on right now, anyway. They said Hispanic males. Is this guy Hispanic? It's hard to see.
It's real hard to tell the clothing of this individual. We know that one was wearing a blue camo sweater.
Master, yeah, that's right.
The other one was wearing a light-colored sweater.
Streaming with Jenny tomorrow. Yeah, it looks like he's wearing all black and his white shoes.
All right, so what we're hearing right now is that we think that they had the primary unit. Okay, so there you go. You see he's being released. The primary unit came over.
That wasn't the guy.
Identified this individual, and it looks like they said, hey, you know what? No, it's not this individual. So they detained him momentarily. They questioned him. They went through his stuff. We saw
False
that
alarm.
but that was not, in fact, the suspect that they were looking for. So they just released him and let him go on his way.
All right.
Looks like there's still officers hanging out down here, still searching. I would imagine once they get to that footage from the surveillance cameras inside, they're going to have a better idea of what to look for and where. Hey, George, let's go on over to the other side of the parking structure, please.
They're going to go over to the other side. Man, they're really hanging out here for a long time.
And as you can see, that airship's still overhead, still providing support just in case it's needed.
Fingers crossed for the Rasta beanie.
They were overhead for majority of this pursuit. Again, if you're just joining us about an hour ago, pursuit
yeah, maybe he was close to the description, or like I said, he was mouthing off just he wasn't being cooperative.
For a suspected DUI. That subject ran, did not stop for them, ended up on the freeway where CHP took over that pursuit. That subject was going northbound on the 5. They ended up on the 210 eastbound. They ended up back going the other way. They went to back to the 5, went north on the 5 again, went to the 14, got off, turned around, southbound 5, came southbound 5 all the way down here to North Hollywood, where they got off the freeway and ran pretty dangerously. That we were seeing.
It does seem like a lot for a DUI, and I mean reckless driving on top of it, right? Like he's
I think we hit 81
added
miles
on
an
a
hour
lot
at
of
one
charges
point
during
on the
that
streets
chase.
as well. So very dangerous, running through red lights.
It does seem like an awful lot for a DUI.
Blowing stop signs, coming very
right?
close to pedestrians, very dangerous driving, and they ended up here in North Hollywood. They drove into this parking structure. We saw moments ago that arm that they drove through to get into that parking structure, and it looks like they ditched the car inside and foot bailed. What we know is that they found the vehicle, but they have not found the suspects yet. We know there were two male suspects. One was wearing a blue camo sweater and a colorful beanie. The other one was wearing a light-colored sweater. That's all we know.
It was not
we heard some reports that they were running on the second level at one point, but we don't have any confirmation of having caught any of those suspects. So they're still looking around. That looks like maybe mall security.
Shout out to the mall security.
We got lots of LAPD units here. We got LAPD Foothill and LAPD North Hollywood here on site. CHP handed it over to them just a little while ago. So now we're just waiting for the conclusion of this pursuit. They set up a perimeter. The pursuit had gone into following mode, which means the ground units backed a ways off in order to try and put less pressure on the suspect for them not to drive so erratically and dangerously. It didn't really work. They continued driving dangerously and erratically and then ended up driving here into this parking structure
in the mall security
where they bailed.
Just actually had this same
we were unable to see
so
what
the
they did after
daytime mall
that because they were
security
inside this
had
parking
this happen
structure.
to them like a month ago,
LAPD
and now the
set up a
nighttime
big
guys are
perimeter.
like, oh, it's
They're searching all the vehicles coming out.
Yeah.
They're on foot searching that parking structure, looking for those two suspects.
Mad Cow, have a good evening. Thank you for coming through. You know that the daytime guys at the mall, they were telling this story to everybody.
Hey George, can you push forward a little bit for me?
Oh my God, you should have seen the cops came in here. We're looking at all the surveillance stuff. It was crazy, big police presence. And then the nighttime guys were like, damn, I wish that would have happened when I was on shift. This shit is so boring. Nothing ever happens when I'm working. And then tonight, they get it. Finally.
Just gonna look down this parking structure. Maybe we can see something's going on. It's a pretty big parking structure. There's gonna be a lot to search in there, as you can see.
S4*0. Damn, I put my points on the
Just
stars.
gonna look down this parking structure. Maybe
Thought
we
I
can
was
see
cute.
something's going on.
Memphis Chase, yeah.
Pretty big parking structure.
At least for me.
There's gonna be a lot to search in
Marcus,
there,
what's up?
as you can see.
You bet half your points, man. I only put like 1,000 something on it. I'm always pretty conservative with it. Did you bet half your points on the stars? I had my points on stars because I figured if they could pull it off, it would have been a big W. So many
Just gonna
people
look down
had
this parking
points on
structure.
the
Maybe we
Avalanche.
can see
Oh,
something
on
that's
the
going
Avs.
on.
Okay, so you at least won. Did you gain many points though?
It's a pretty big parking structure.
Another nothing. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks
see.
like it. I mean, I don't see how the news is gonna stay here late enough to like. Jeez, the Stars didn't even get one goal. Is the prediction over? Has it been ended yet? You don't know. Okay, gonna pay it out right
look
now.
Down this parking
Colorado
structure. Maybe
Avalanche.
we can see something's going on.
Oh shit. Okay, let me give me 1 second. I think they probably went offline, but I'm gonna look for myself real quick. Yeah, it looks like NBC went offline. So I'm gonna call it here. Thanks everyone. Have a good evening. If I go live again, it's because there is a police chase. So come back for that. And otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. Gonna stream here in Memphis. Going to, yes, Shinji, thank you. Gonna go to the pyramid thing.